So they need to have something, they can question in
Question
your
you
CV.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, and being a fresher, how you can build your CV is like by hackathons, by projects, or by, being a part of any technical clever chapter.
Correct. True. That's, I think, the best way to do it.
Yeah, you need to put something, right? Even
Yeah.
if you are applying for your first job,
Yeah.
you need to have something in your CV.
True.
If you want to do any business also,
Yeah.
I think you should study UPSC syllabus because I got to know like so much about India. Like I studied geography and like very some political science, so I can know like which minerals are located. Like where
Yeah.
if you want to do a transportation, which areas, which mode you should go. So I learned a really lot.
Why is Admit Scholar different?
I think three reasons which make Admit Scholar stand out. The first is like been there, done that. Second is like the data which I have collected, and the third is like personalized guidance. So we have a team of right now like 6 consultants. All of the 6 have been through the top B schools and have gotten admissions into like Columbia, HEC Paris, NCR, London Business School, NUS, St. Gallen, so this kind of universities.
Yeah.
So we take the applications as like what we have to if you would have been in your field.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dhairya Decodes Podcast. And in today's episode, we are going to be uncoding and decoding a lot about the study abroad landscape and the study abroad world. There's so many people on this channel who keep asking me questions about how to go ahead and choose the right country, right university, what does the application process look like, and how to work and how to study at the top colleges of the world. And in today's episode, we have someone who will exactly help you solve and decode all of this. Today, I'm going to be joined by Sahil Sujit, who is the founder of Admit Scholar. He is also a junior from my college, and I'm so happy to actually be interviewing him in today's episode. We're going to be knowing more about the journey of him going on to becoming an entrepreneur. He actually started his journey with working with companies like JP Morgan Chase and IBM, specifically in the software engineering and data science departments, to now starting Admit Scholar since the past 2 years and 4 months or so. And at Admit Scholar, what they're trying to do is they're a niche study abroad consultancy, and they're solving for the students' problems end to end when it comes to the study abroad process. Everything right from preparing for your GMAT, GRE, IELTS, TOEFL, your interview process, whether it's your CV prep, your profile building, visas, admits, everything. So basically, if you want to go to somebody who is going to actually look at you as a individual and prepare you to get to your dream university at the best cost possible, then they're definitely the best consultancy to go to. We'll know a lot more about Sahil's journey, his early career choices, his thoughts on why studying at a particular university impacts where you reach in life, because he has done an MIM from NCR himself and he just passed out in 2024, and he did his BTech in computer science prior to that. So we'll know a lot more about his career trajectory, a lot about his transition into being an entrepreneur from a corporate employee, and a lot more. So without any further ado, let me welcome Sahil to the Dhairya Decodes podcast.
Hi Dhairya.
Hi, how are you doing, Sahil?
Good. It's
Great, great.
pleasure to be here. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm so glad, like I was telling the audience, it's a very rare opportunity that you get to, interview a junior from your college so early on, which goes on to show that you've done some great work in the industry. And it's so good to see that you're embarking on your own journey and doing great stuff, right? So good to be here.
Yeah, I mean, it's an honor to be here, and I really appreciate the work you are doing, especially like, from VIT, you are spreading awareness about like the jobs, and of course, now, especially like studying abroad at the top universities and
Yeah.
inviting me here.
No, my pleasure. Great. Chalo,
Yeah.
so let's start, Sahil. Obviously, the audience is always inquisitive about knowing more about the person's background. So let's start a little bit with your family background and your childhood. Thoda, tell the audience about what kind of a family do you come from, what city do you come from, and what did you see people pursuing as careers while you were growing up? Like, what did you see your cousins or your parents, etc., do when you were growing up, and what impression did it have on your head that ye banna hai, bada hoke?
Okay. So I come from a government. So my dad works is a like IPS officer.
IPS officer,
Yeah.
seriously?
Yeah.
Very good, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Very
And-
nice, yeah.
And yeah, my mom is like a tutor, so she
Nice.
teach English to the kids like primary and like till like 10
How
years.
long has she been doing it now?
20 like from like right 20 more than 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so she has been teaching me as well.
Yeah.
And so born and brought up in Raipur, Chhattisgarh.
Yeah.
and like 10th tak, like I was like kind of like a very shy student, and like I used to play tennis professionally, like from my sixth. So I played like nationals, ITA, being a runner-up in all India level tournaments.
Okay.
So wanted to be a tennis player.
You wanted to pursue it professionally
Pursue
also?
it professionally, yes,
Okay.
correct. But couldn't do it because of lack of opportunities, and
Parents were okay with it.
parents were okay with it, but you need to get that kind of opportunities in India, right, at the very early
You
stage.
think it's not the infrastructure or the support is not there as much for a sport like table tennis?
Not table tennis, lawn tennis.
Sorry, for lawn tennis?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think like at my
At least
time.
at that time.
Yeah, it was not there.
Okay.
So if you want to be like a professional tennis player, I think you need to, like, at the age of like 13 or 14, you need to have to get like a proper international level of exposure. You need to have like a very good coach.
Okay.
In India, you have Bhupati's Academic in Bangalore, but of course it's like very costly.
Very
so
expensive also.
Very expensive also.
Yeah.
And we like
Got it.
not coming from like that much rich family, so I took like 11th and 11th 12th I took like engineering. So I wanted, then decided, okay, let's do something which I was really like small interested, I have a little interested into computer science, because taking HTML, building websites. So that's why I thought, okay, we'll take PCM and do computer science.
Okay.
So got in.
But this was your decision.
Yeah, my decision.
Your decision.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally my decision.
So you do computer science engineering and you started studying at VIT Vellore.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about what were your parents' thoughts when you started pursuing engineering and आप VIT Vellore गए. उधर when you were studying and doing your engineering course, did you know very clearly that, and were you okay with doing like a corporate job, and what were your parents wanting you to do after engineering? Any thoughts, and were there any clashes between what you had started thinking of doing, let's say after the first 6 months or the first year of engineering, versus what they were looking at?
So honestly, like, they wanted me to do a job, but I was like, I didn't have any clarity. I was just chilling and enjoying life in VIT, of course, like first 2 years. So I literally didn't know like if any company comes, like what's the hiring process, what you should learn, like data structures. I was just enjoying the life. It was like first time I went from like Raipur to Vellore. So I did like all the trips to Pondicherry, and yeah,
You
I was
had
just
a
enjoying my
blast.
life.
Yeah.
Attending Rivera, Gravitas,
Gravitas.
all the
We
stand-up
are in a
comedies.
different world for the first 1 year
Yeah,
at least.
yeah. So first year I really didn't thought, like even in the second year,
Yeah.
I was just, like, I was like, it was the first time I came from like, got out from Raipur.
Yeah.
So I was just meeting new people, and I really like it. So as I told, like till 10th I was a little extrovert, but VIT, like meeting from people like from so many
You were
different.
an introvert.
Yeah, introvert.
And
So-
then you became an extrovert.
Yeah, at VIT, like first, second year. So meeting people from so many different backgrounds, cultures, like all people from all over the place comes at VIT.
Correct.
So it was very helpful for me.
Nice.
So yeah, met very great people there.
Got it. And tell me one thing, did you enjoy coding and the entire curriculum and your engineering years while you were pursuing computer science engineering at VIT?
Yeah, I would say like the curriculum was quite better compared to other colleges, because we don't need to study like at, I think, other colleges you have like physics, chemistry, maths, which you have to study like in your first year, and it's very same. But for us, it was like in the first year only they gave us like coding courses, Python courses.
Correct.
So that was quite nice,
Yeah.
and it was like something new.
Yeah.
And you have like projects and everything, like every.
But did coding come to you naturally? मतलब आपको खुद, बहुत सारे लोग struggle करते हैं. At least I'll take my example.
Yeah.
I've said this in many places and it's just the truth. It's not like I couldn't code, या if I would have tried मैं नहीं कर पाती. Even today, यार, if you take anything up in life, आप धीरे धीरे सीखते हो जाता है. If you're at it, you can do anything. But I don't know, somehow I just felt very handicapped every time somebody told me this is a problem statement और इसको Python में C या C++ या Java में लिखना है. I don't know, I just didn't understand it. So that way I'm trying to understand that did coding come to you naturally, and thinking in a particular way and solving a problem, did that come to you naturally?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah?
I think it came very naturally to me.
you.
Like whenever the teacher was, teaching, and I spent like very little less time on, learning from external YouTubes and other websites.
and I had like good grades in especially coding, so I would say हाँ थोड़ा सा naturally आ गया था. हाँ, and like also like participated in hackathon. I met like one of a great guy who was doing like a very good startup at VIT first year, and he built like some startup like for like 36 crores value in like his first semester.
Who is this?
His name is like Utkarsh Kumar. So he's a very good friend of mine.
What does he do now?
So he sold some solution to Meta.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
The
he
rich
lives in
guy.
he lives in New York. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
crazy guy.
rich guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So I was quite close to him. So he also taught me like much coding skills, and we also won like some hackathons all over India.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was the first. I won the Major League Hacking, which
Major
happened.
League Hacking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hackathon by them. So.
Did you immediately join IBM? How did that work? What was the campus placement scenario like for you at VIT?
So I think before JP Morgan, I also did a ISEC internship in Vietnam for 2.5 months.
Oh, okay.
That was, I think, the life-changing moment for me.
Okay. Why do you say so?
Because there, I think I was like alone for 2.5 months in Vietnam in a small village near Ho Chi Minh, and I was teaching English to the underprivileged kids and some adults, like depending on
Yeah.
So that was quite life-changing because there, first of all, they don't know, I don't know Vietnamese and they don't know Hindi, or we don't have a common language. And I needed to teach them English. So I started using a different curriculum, designing a proper way, like started speaking slowly. I learned little bit of Vietnamese, like how to speak, like if this is elephant, I learned like how to
Say
speak
elephant
in Vietnamese, then I
Wow.
can teach them.
Yeah.
Because I was like totally alone and I was given a task.
How did you manage there, living and everything, food?
So I'm a non-vegetarian. I can,
Oh, so
yeah,
okay.
not a big problem for
Problem
me.
there, yeah.
And I love exploring like different cultures, different foods, and it was a very good exposure at that time because I think we were a group of like 30 people,
Okay.
and all I think they out of 30 people, 20 were like from different countries. So when you interact with people who have different thought process and different brainstorming process, you grow a lot. I believe that.
Yeah.
So after that, again there was a huge change between Sahil before the Vietnam internship and after. This 2.5 months also like really changed me.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's how you. Then again, after that, in
Yeah.
the COVID summer vacation, I did the JP Morgan internship.
So the Vietnam one happened before, you're saying?
Yeah, in November to January.
And then you did the JP Morgan
Correct,
internship.
correct.
What happened after that then?
After that, didn't get the full time, like
Okay.
because they were not hiring. So
Yeah.
of course went through the campus placements. Okay, my CGPA was not great.
So what was your struggle? You said your CGPA was not that good.
Yeah.
What is not that good? If you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah. I mean, truly comfortable. So I think in the VID, anything above 9 is quite good. You get to sit like in the first round of placements. So I was like 8.29, not above 8.5. I think 8.29 also like after the final year project. So उसके अलावा तो I was 8.1 कुछ इसमें था. तो आधे companies में तो बैठने नहीं मिलता था. और after like the internship in the COVID, I started like 4 months I started preparing for UPSC.
Why?
Because like
Your dad is
aspirational, I wanted to
IPS.
become.
Did he want you to or you thought?
Like he suggested,
हाँ.
I got influenced.
I knew it. That is what. ये हो ही नहीं
Yeah.
सकता. That's why I
Yeah.
asked. How is it possible that somebody's father who is an IPS officer will not ask you even once कि UPSC की तैयारी कर लो? वो तो बहुत rare है. हाँ.
So I got influenced. फिर उसके बाद लगा कि नहीं, it's like
Preparation की तो how was that period like? कुछ did you ever feel? Did you enjoy it? Did you think that
yeah,
I
it's
could
a
do
very.
this?
I think if you want to do any business also,
Yeah.
I think you should study UPSC syllabus because I got to know like so much about India. Like I studied geography and like some political science, so I can know like which minerals are located. Like where.
Yeah.
If you want to do a transportation, which areas, which mode you should go. So I learned a really lot.
I think it helps you with your general knowledge in
Yeah,
general and
quite.
how to work around in
Yeah,
life. Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. This
And
is a
if-
very unique take that if you want to do a business, maybe you can prepare for UPSC. It helps.
Not prepare for UPSC. Just study the geography.
Just study.
Yeah,
Acha.
just study the geography if you want to do like any minerals or something.
Huh.
And you, also, if you are studying about UPSC, you know all about the subsidies government are offering.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, but after 4 months, I thought, okay, it's like a very vast syllabus. Because now, then it's a time to decide my optional subject. उसके बाद लगा कि नहीं इतना like I cannot go that deep. So I quit. And उसके बाद फिर again वापस से अप्लाई करना, वापस से रिविजन करना, डेटा स्ट्रक्चर, सारे इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस करना. तो अप्लाइड फॉर आई थिंक मोर देन 50 कंपनीज. रिजेक्ट. कहीं शॉर्टलिस्ट नहीं हुआ. फिर ले देखिए
50 में.
हाँ, कहीं शॉर्टलिस्ट नहीं.
How was that period when 50 plus companies rejected you? Like, honestly, did you, because I'll tell you, especially in a college like VIT where the competition is so intense and there are like 10,000 batchmates that you have, right? In every batch, and everybody's getting placed every day.
Correct.
And you feel very demotivated at some point that what's wrong with me, या मेरे में कुछ कमी है, या what am I not doing right, right? So, did that ever happen where you felt really demotivated? Did that point come?
Of course it happened. Like I was like कि ऐसा क्या मतलब गलत मैं कर रहा हूँ.
हाँ.
But I think it was lucky that it was COVID.
Okay.
Well, not lucky. Like of course COVID was like very bad. But I think घर में रहना, like you have your parents support.
Yeah.
And I was like constantly talking to my friend. उसका भी नहीं हुआ था.
अच्छा, तो एक दूसरे का सहारा.
That is like very much support. Like ऐसा था कि कुछ दोस्तों का like 28, 30, 40 ऐसे लग गया था. 40 LPA. Of course.
आप LPA mention कर दो लोगों को.
मतलब 40 lakhs per annum, किसी का PayPal, किसी का D-Shop. Of course there were people.
Yeah.
So of course, but वो भी थे कि ठीक है, उनसे ये हो गया था कि अब मैं उनके साथ प्रैक्टिस कर सकता हूँ. वो फ्री हो गए ना.
हाँ, वो
तो
फिर आपको प्रिपेयर करवाने में या रेडी करने में हेल्प कर सकते.
तो वो भी काफी हेल्प था कि सब लोग हेल्प भी कर रहे थे.
नाइस.
और ऐसा था कि और फिर मतलब ऑफ कोर्स इंटरव्यू भी कहीं के दिए, रिजेक्ट हुए. तो फिर जाके दिसंबर में आई रिमेंबर आई गॉट कॉग्निजेंट.
ओके.
3.5 or 4.
हाँ,
ठीक है.
वो तो हमें एक मास मिल ही जाती है, हमारी जो रेगुलर होती है. फिर मेरे को TCS से मिली थी. एक रेगुलर तो हम लेते ही हैं, सेफ ऑप्शन, क्योंकि 100% प्लेसमेंट दिखाएंगे कैसे. यस.
सो उसके बाद फिर आई वाज लाइक कि नहीं मतलब आई नीड टू पुश ना. मतलब 4 years like of course the role is not what I wanted. Of course किसी के लिए काफी अच्छा हो सकता है, but मेरे लिए नहीं था.
it was not.
So again push myself. In March I got Dream.
Okay.
From 2 companies, PwC and Wipro.
Oh nice. Okay.
But मेरे को लगा कि again अभी भी ये रोल वो अच्छा नहीं मिला मेरे को. Like okay, पैसा was okay, like 8.
So money was okay, but you were not okay with the role.
Yeah.
What were the roles offered?
It was like I think general soft cloud engineer or something. It was like that. And in PwC it was cyber security specialist.
Analyst.
Analyst.
Right.
Classic.
Classic.
Yeah. But I wanted to do something in data science.
You were clear about that.
हाँ, क्योंकि मेरे को
Why data science?
At that time 2021 data science machine learning was growing
Booming.
a lot. It was booming and I was also very interested. My final year projects and
You had studied. You knew the basic concepts of like let's say data analysis, data science, the algorithms and all of that.
Yeah, of course. Like एकदम deep knowledge तो नहीं थी.
हाँ.
पर वो तो जॉब के बाद ही आई.
Correct.
हाँ, तो उसके बाद फिर भी था कि जस्ट थोड़ा अगर रोल अगर मिल जाए डेटा साइंस वाला. फिर फाइनली ग्रेजुएशन लास्ट डेट फॉर प्लेसमेंट वाज 6th June, which is my mom's birthday.
Oh.
And for me IBM came on 27th May, which is my birthday.
Okay.
So I gave the interview on my birthday and got the offer on 2nd June for IBM, which is like super dream.
Yeah.
So till then 6 months, I was ऐसा नहीं कि like all the companies आई for data science role, but I got rejected.
Okay.
I think I gave more than overall in a whole year 20 plus interviews, got of course rejected, got 4 or 5 acceptance. तो फिर उसके बाद फिर I got IBM. I was really happy. Very good package, very good role, amazing life.
What was your package? What package did you get placed at?
14 base.
Nice. 14 was the base.
Yeah.
CTC कितना था?
फिर वो तो बोलते रहते हैं वो मिलता तो है.
पता है मुझे. CTC कितना था?
16.
16 था तो ज्यादा फर्क नहीं है.
हाँ, so इसलिए base was good ना.
So base was very good then. That wave CTC was 16
हाँ,
and
I
base
was
was
21
14.
years old. अगस्त के बाद बोल रहे कि तुम्हें 1 लाख के ऊपर आएगा.
हाँ.
उसके बाद तो फिर क्या ही था.
Yeah, nice.
उसके बाद वर्क फ्रॉम होम था. सारे दोस्तों का लगभग सुपर ड्रीम लग गया. तो फिर हम लोग तो फिर for 15 days or 20 days we were in Goa. Just celebrating.
Wow. Role क्या था?
A data scientist.
Data scientist. Very nice. So exactly what you wanted.
Exactly.
Great. So tell me,
4 दिन पहले ग्रेजुएशन
4 दिन पहले, मम्मी के बर्थडे के 4 दिन पहले, बर्थडे अपने बर्थडे के 2-3 दिन बाद. Great. And then you obviously went to Goa, had a blast. You started your corporate career with IBM. Tell me about your experience of working at IBM. I think you were there for a year and a half or more.
Correct.
As a data scientist working at IBM straight out of college, what can freshers expect? What's the, I would say, interview process also like for IBM? If you can also tell me how many rounds did you give? It was an on-campus placement, just to clarify for him. But what kind of rounds were there? And then when you started working as a data scientist, क्या काम करते थे आप as a data scientist?
So, of course, I remember the interview process. So first is, of course, the classic assessment test. You have to clear that, and उसके बाद
उसमें क्या क्या होता है? But
उसमें वही like
these things ना you explain in detail, because people really like knowing this.
Okay, so during the whole process, first was a proper test by, I think there's a website for like coding assessment. So they were like 3 coding challenges you need to do. And of course, if everything runs, all the test cases runs.
मतलब normal problem solving test.
Normal problem solving, correct. And some aptitude test.
And तीनों की तीनों run करने थे? या
मेरे हो गए
2
थे.
out of 3? आपके तीनों हो गए थे?
मेरे 3 हो गए थे.
Nice.
And उसके बाद फिर I think one pure technical interview where the interview she asked me like everything about machine learning models, image processing, and like going very deep on like every if I've worked on a project, कैसे किया तुमने डेटा सोर्स
रेज्यूमे में से, मतलब आपका रेज्यूमे चेक करके,
हाँ प्रोजेक्ट्स चेक करके कि अगर ये डेटा सोर्स लाया तो ये किया, फिर इसमें कौन सी एल्गोरिथम लगाया और ये क्यों लगाया, लाइक इफ यू पुट लाइक सो देयर आर लाइक 2 रीइंफोर्समेंट लर्निंग लगाया तो क्यों लगाया, सुपरवाइज लर्निंग लगाया तो क्यों लगाया, अनसुपरवाइज लगाया तो क्यों लगाया.
करेक्ट.
So that's how she asked like very on like I think it went for like 1.5 hours. She grilled everything. उसके बाद there was a manager interview which was like proper leadership. What are your leadership skills? Just checking your communication skills.
What kind of questions did they ask you in that interview?
So tell us about a time where you failed.
Okay.
How did you lead a team? Tell us about a situation where you solved a conflict.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
So
to
your
test
people
your
skill.
basic interpersonal people skills.
Correct.
Right.
And उसके बाद I got a like a HR call where again she asked me same thing.
Again HR call after manager round
हाँ.
also. अच्छा.
So she asked like basic questions कि where did you do your 10th from, 12th from, like basic 5-minute interview I would say.
ठीक है.
So उसके बाद after HR call I think 40 minutes I got the offer. So I was very much excited.
Very nice. Great. And which location did you join?
Bangalore.
So you went to the office in Bangalore of IBM and you worked there as a data scientist.
Yeah.
Walk me through what a typical day looked like after spending at least 6 months in the job. What were you doing in a day as a data scientist straight out of college at IBM?
Okay. So उसमें क्या हुआ था कि as soon as I joined IBM, of course they give you like a proper training.
अच्छा, ट्रेनिंग भी होती है?
हाँ, आराम से like 1 month they teach you. Again they have their own courses.
Yeah.
उसमें सब कुछ पढ़ाया जाता है स्क्रैच से एंड तक, एंड फर्स्ट मंथ तो बस वही करना होता है.
Oh nice. Okay.
उसके बाद फिर क्लासेस होते हैं.
क्लासेस होते हैं?
हाँ.
क्या क्लासेस होते हैं?
Like they teach about like machine learning.
पढ़ाई के बाद और
पढ़ाई के बाद हाँ वो प्रॉपर क्लासेस होते हैं. They teach you like real
IBM
stuff.
tells you to attend classes?
Like it's a classes attend like organized by the IBM
team. I understand. But okay, so that's what
like,
you do typically. Okay,
so
nice.
for 1 month you just learn
Yeah,
about
this is
what
very
you are
nice
gonna
because
do.
very few companies actually give you the
Correct,
on-the-job
correct.
training. They don't want to spend that much on the resources generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that उसके बाद IBM consulting थी.
हाँ.
So IBM consulting वही की थी कि like they have different kind of project,
Yeah, different clients.
different clients.
Yeah.
But IBM के खुद के products भी होते हैं.
हाँ, correct.
तो उसके बाद after 1 month only there was a like opening in IBM product under cyber security.
Okay.
So I asked my manager कि if possible कि अगर product में तो like I think you grow more because you are working on a product, then you see it like its
You
impact.
see it grow.
So I thought rather than like proper working in IBM consulting, I just shoot my I take like a shot.
हाँ.
So I asked him, so of course he told okay then I have to do like again an interview.
अच्छा.
For
उसके
IBM
जाने के लिए obviously.
IBM cyber security as a data scientist.
Okay.
So there I was in IBM cyber security Amsterdam team.
So you got in then?
Yeah, I got in.
Wow.
So he asked me some cybersecurity questions. Of course, I prepared for it.
Yeah.
And a typical day, I would say, my manager, one of the, I think, the best managers I met, because I was with him in like in Germany. I met him in Germany. When I was again in Amsterdam, I met him.
Yeah.
In Amsterdam, he was like very great, very supportive. So of course, it was like a big project.
Yeah.
So a typical day would be like, of course, in the morning you have your daily stand-ups, you attend it, and there is like a few tasks you are assigned. So it was very flexible, very flexible. That whatever work you wanna do, like there was no fixed timings. So you just need to build the machine learning models and just deliver on
What
time.
skills were you using? Let's say,
Skills?
tell me typically any particular software you had to work on. What are the main technical skills that you gained or learned in that 1.5 year period or so at IBM?
So in the skills, I would say, of course, when you are given like a huge chunk of data,
Yeah.
the first thing you do is like data cleaning.
Yeah.
So you understand like which data and which KPIs, which columns are important. So that's the thing, like understanding which data is relevant for you and what to do for it. That I learned. And for then after that, I learned like different kind of machine learning models, like uh, going on technical terms, it will be like k-means clustering and like other supervised learning machine learning models, and how to predict it.
Okay.
So, and also like, of course, the to gather the data, I learned about like web scraping, so, which was very nice. So, and like, so my job, the product what we were building is like to prevent cyber attacks.
Okay.
So for that, you need to know about different kind of cyber attacks, how a cyber attack happens. So going through that process, like
Yeah.
understanding what kind of servers, what kind of IP addresses usually a hacker attacks it.
Attacks, yeah.
Yeah. So building us, gathering a set pattern, like if a person comes from this IP address, or is trying to get into the admin with, and he's not authorized,
Yeah.
then a prevention method should be there. So
There.
all data governance,
Acha.
machine learning models, what to do. So that's what
That's what you did.
did for 1.5 years.
Nice. Interesting. Okay. What happened after you spent 1.5 years at IBM?
So after 1 year, I got to know that this product is going to be used in the FIFA World Cup in 2022.
Oh,
The
God.
Qatar FIFA World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one you were working on.
So this product was featured in, of course, Gartner magazine, Fortune 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I was part of this product. So yeah, my manager didn't told me
Yeah.
that this project was gonna be used, this product. And later I realized, and I was like very happy.
Yeah.
Amazing product. And then, at that time, so I was just doing like coding work till like 1 year. उसके बाद I realized कि हाँ, I'm like more of a people person, like, and just wanted to do like business.
Okay.
So उसके बाद से I started my preparation.
No, but how did you know that business karna hai suddenly? You were enjoying your job. Did you like it, or
No,
what
I was liking it, but like when I saw my manager, like how he was interacting with clients, and
So
also
you could become a manager in your company also, no?
correct,
One day.
correct. But उसके बाद like I got an opportunity. He explained, like he was, so my senior was sick, so I was given an opportunity to represent the product and explain to the like C-level people.
Acha.
हाँ कि और उसमें like I explained all the complex terminologies into like very simple terms.
Okay.
So after that, of course, there was an option to stay in the same job, but then I would be like a very data science manager. I wanted to shift from technical to like the front, like be a proper on the business side.
On the business side.
So that's why uske baad I decided, that I wanted to do an master's in management, or shift from technical to business field.
So basically to enable that shift from a technical to a non-technical or a managerial field, you started thinking on the lines of ki I'll do some master's program.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Now personally, you did a MIM
Correct.
from INSEAD, which is one of like the best, B schools to go to. How did you prepare for this entire process personally? When you decided ki okay, ab masters karna hai, firstly choosing, should I do masters, should I do MBA, or should I do MIM? How did you make the choice? And then tell me a little bit about the application process also at INSEAD, and how was your experience personally as a student?
Yeah. So personally, like when I decided that I wanted to switch to, management degree, so of course I was looking for options. Of course, there was option like masters in business analytics.
Yeah.
क्योंकि वो थोड़ा like from technical, like having a beach का
Having a data science background, it would have been the
Correct.
best for you actually
Best
to do
for
a
me.
master's in business analytics
Correct,
or data
yeah.
analytics. Yeah.
and उसके बाद था options like MIM MBA.
Okay.
So first I researched, okay, MIM क्या है, MBA क्या है.
हाँ.
So MIM था कि okay 0 to 2 years of work experience. MBA था, of course it's like a leadership program where generally people of work experience around 5 years,
5+ years. Yeah.
5+ years go on. So then I realized कि अभी तो like for me MIM is the perfect because I just want to switch to the business side, become like a analyst or consulting like in a top MBB firm, or wanted to learn about different kind of industry. So I thought I think at this right moment I should shift to like MIM, do an MIM. But of course there was a little confusion. So I also applied to some courses for masters in business analytics.
Okay.
And yeah, MBA also, but ISB.
Oh, okay.
So जब मैं like I was through in my process, so I was reaching out to the consultants, like in India, looking for help. But what I could figure is like I had I believe after IBM I had like a very strong profile.
Yeah.
And उसके बाद I thought कि I will get into the top B schools. But everyone told me that you cannot get in. You don't have a very good profile. And so उसमें I realized that कि ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं. तो फिर उसके बाद I realized कि उनका commission fix होता है. So if your fees is like 40 lakhs and they send you like King's Queens College कुछ भी उस टाइप के, तो they get 10% commission.
10%, yeah.
So I was like नहीं. फिर उसके बाद I reached out to like consultants who say that they can help you, but they were like from not been through the process. They just promise that they can help you. तो मैंने फिर पूरा preparation खुद से किया. It took me like 8 to 10 months, like preparing for GRE, then essays.
Wait, did you write GRE and GMAT both, or how was it?
I read GRE.
You wrote the GRE.
I wrote the GRE, sorry.
Okay. And what was your score?
334.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good score, yeah?
Yeah.
334 on 340 is really nice.
Yeah. So I was very good in quant, so it was like 170 out of 170.
Oh, wow.
And in verbal, I worked hard, so 164 out of.
Very nice. Nice.
Yeah.
And then, how were the other things? How did you build? I mean, did you do anything specifically on the profile building aspect other than things you'd already done? I mean, the hackathons, your BTech, your IBM, and your JP Morgan, all of that was there on your profile already. Did you do anything additionally to build your profile up?
Yeah. So I wanted to work on a consulting firm.
Okay.
So उसके लिए like I reached out to the people on LinkedIn, like from NCR, from London Business School, from Harvard, from Stanford.
Yeah.
कि like I wanted to this. अब मैं क्या करूँ? उसके बाद they guided me, of course, if you have a strategy course from BCG or from any. So I did a strategy course from a BCG, like from their official website, and started learning about business
What
cases.
course was this?
It's a simple course by BCG, like BCG strategy.
Okay.
They teach you about like basic consulting.
And BCG only hosts this course themselves?
Yeah, themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is it free?
Yeah, it's free.
It's free?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I learned about like consulting more, and there are like different websites where you can learn about like consulting, have some certifications.
Yeah.
So I did that.
Nice.
Apart from my profile building, and yeah, after that I applied to 6 schools, got into all of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Look at the flex. Okay, very nice. Which were those 6 schools?
So NCR, MIM program, LBS MIM program.
Okay.
In Colombia, I applied for Masters in Business Analytics.
So Columbia also you got it?
Yeah.
Nice.
And ISB, PGP.
ISB भी हो गया था.
हाँ.
और?
Imperial.
Imperial also.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And ESCP.
ESCP also.
Yeah,
Paris.
Paris, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So you applied to 6 different colleges and different courses. Why didn't you go with a master's in business analytics at Columbia, and rather you went on to do an MIM at INSEAD? Why that choice?
So the choice, okay, I was more confused between MIM at NCR, between MIM at LBS.
Why?
Because, okay, first of all, like MSBA was just, I applied because I believe that was a safe option. because coming from a data science background and just wanted to switch to business.
But Columbia, don't you think?
It
Because
would have
people
been.
think like that.
It would have been, but I was very clear कि अब if I want to switch to business, go for like pure business course. Like beach ka, I was like nahi. If I go like all in.
All in.
Like, so of course, like from MSB also you can shift to consulting, product management, but like it involved a little bit of tech.
Correct.
But I was like, I already know tech. If I want to learn, I will like learn completely from, different thing. So that's why I decided already MIM.
Okay. Nice. And then why did you choose the MIM program at INSEAD? Why NCR as the business school that you went with? Because you had 6 admits in hand, so the ball was in your court.
Yeah, I mean, at NCR, I think if you see their brand as like, it's like people school and business school of the world.
Yeah.
So the MIM program is very good. I would say like it stand out for me because of course 2 different continents. So NCR was in France for 6 months and 4 months in Singapore.
Oh, okay.
And LBS was in London. So for me also like working in
2 different geographies.
Yeah, and studying into different geographies, especially like France and Singapore, it was like, and also the diversity. NCR is like way diverse. Like you have like people from 40 and 50 different countries, and they have like home groups and period groups. So home groups is like they make you a group of 5 people.
Okay.
And similarly like period groups, and they make sure that each and every person is from a different country.
Wow.
So you have like 6 groups like that, and each time they make sure that it's not a repetition.
Kabhi repeat nahi
Kabhi repeat nahi hoga. So that much diversity you get. So then I decided to go for NCR, and also like NCR has I think more global brand reputation like in UAE and like LBS I thought it was majorly in like London. And in India, of course.
Yeah, got it. Tell me, when you started, when did the entire thought of starting admit school, when did the entire thought of starting admit scholar even come about? So obviously you started preparing for your, for your GMAT, GRE, etc. You gave the exam, you got into NCR, you chose the MIM program. When was it in this entire timeline that the idea of admit scholar came in your mind, and what triggered that thought or business idea to you that this is what I want to solve for?
Okay. So I told you, right, ki, 10 months I prepared to get...
And you were looking for
the process.
consultants.
And I was looking for the consultant. So as soon as I got the NCR offer, I started admit scholar the next day. So I quit my job.
The next day?
The next day I quit my job.
Oh my God.
And I think day after tomorrow, उसके बाद, so because I am from a computer science background, तो मेरे लिए काफी easy था website ready करना, सब कुछ. So उसके बाद I started admit scholar like after 15-20 days. Like of course worked on the website and what I'm gonna do. Like
because you saw that there are no genuine consultants. There's a gap,
Correct,
and nobody is actually helping you reach the university that's right for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think on 31st December 2022, I got my first client payment.
Acha, okay.
Yeah. So that's how started
Nice.
admit scholar.
So you built a website on your own. You single-handedly did everything.
Yeah, single-handedly did everything.
Okay.
Instagram, reaching out to the clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My question basically was, how did you build the company up from that point, right? From starting it alone with just a website, a mobile app, getting the first client. Take me through the journey. What did you do after that then?
Okay.
How did you have a co-founder now as well? How did you meet him? How did you build the company up? Hire the team? What was that entire journey like?
Okay, so the entire journey. So of course I built the website, and then the Instagram page, the LinkedIn page, the Facebook page.
Yeah.
All by myself. Then started really learning about graphic designing, Canva, how I can make that. So of course first hired an intern to handle the social media.
Yeah.
After that, of course, started posting on my LinkedIn if you are looking for help. Then made a strategy, that. So first of all, like if you come to the website, you get a 30-minute free consultation call with me.
Okay.
Then there I analyze the profile and suggest you the best schools available according to your profile and the chances you have in.
Yeah.
So did that. And to scale it up, like of course, it was like hiring a team, and like whenever my success, whenever someone gets in, I request them for a testimonial.
Yeah.
So many, like I think 80% of them says no, but some of the people, of course, are ready for a testimonial.
But why?
Huh?
If you have helped somebody, why do they say no?
They're very shy. They do not want to be on LinkedIn. They do not want to be on maybe on YouTube.
Huh.
So also like started a YouTube channel where
Yeah.
if someone gets in his or her video, if
Goes
they are,
up.
goes
Yeah.
up.
Nice. Okay. And tell me now that, see, honestly, I feel this space is very cluttered in the sense that there are multiple study abroad consultancies. Okay. I can name so many. So many.
Yeah.
I think every second Nukkad has a study abroad
Yeah.
consultancy. What are you doing differently? Simply put, why is Admit Scholar different?
So I think 3 reasons which make Admit Scholar stand out. So first is like been there, done that. Second is like the data which I have collected, and the third is like personalized guidance. So first is like, so we have a team of right now like 6 consultants. All of the 6 have been through the top B schools and have gotten admissions into like Columbia, HEC Paris, NCR, London Business School, NUS, St. Gallen. So this kind of universities.
Yeah.
So we take the applications as like what we would do if you would have been in your shoes.
Got it.
And coming on the second point is like the data. So the data, like, so as I told you, right, I started at Miss Scholar in like 2022.
Yeah.
As soon as I got my NCAT offer. After that, I think I've reached out to like 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people.
10,000?
Yeah, through like emails, cold emails, and talked to like had like 700 calls.
Wow.
And what did I do is like just collected data. Like, okay, if you got into like Wharton, reach all the top school alumni.
Yeah.
So if you have got into Wharton or if you got into like any of the top B schools, I reached out to them and asked them, okay, how was your interview process? What did you write in the essays? And some of them like shared their essays and everything, and their CV. So from that, I've created a gold standard, like what works for this
What
college.
works for every college?
Yeah.
You have the blueprint.
Yeah, so I have a blueprint, like,
Nice.
so in the 2 years, like I have just emailing people just for a call, to get on a call and learn about what worked for them. So
Yeah.
the data we have built, and after that I also, the blueprint, so the data was like MOM, like the minutes, right?
Yeah.
So coming from again data science background, I built a like a RAG architecture, like from my LLM model. So understand like, okay, what is the blueprint, what works, because it's like everyone has a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like then getting a general sense like for what colleges, what works.
Got it.
And the third is like the personalized guidance. It's like, again, right now also what we are taking is like only 3 clients per consultant.
Okay.
So we make sure that, and we make sure that there is no one in between. Like if you go to like other consultancies, they have like an editor or somewhere between a consultant and a client.
What does the editor do?
So if a consultant makes a comment like there needs to be some changes done, the editor makes it.
Okay.
So maybe writes or improvise the CV or essays.
Yeah.
But we make sure that it's not there, because if generally in the call only the consultant and the client is there.
Got it.
So we do not want a editor to be in part, because he or she doesn't know, right, what to write.
Yeah.
And if he knows, he would be there, right, or she.
Correct.
So that's why the consultant does everything, from scratch to end, like from CV. So he will be editing your CV. If there is some essays changes, he will be making the essay changes. He will be writing. He will be making sure that grammatically everything is correct.
Correct. Yeah. Got it.
And of course the interview preparation we help in, like it's like unlimited mock interviews we help you. So
These mock interviews are also taken by the consultants, or
Yeah.
there's they take
we have a
it?
consultants, we have like an international consulting team, like consultants from international background, like Italians, French, China, Vietnamese.
Do
Yeah.
they also help with the language proficiency? Because in a lot of colleges, especially in colleges in France, I think language barrier becomes a problem also.
Language barrier in terms of what?
So, for example, a lot of colleges, let's say in France, sometimes do need you to know French as a language.
Okay,
So
so,
if-
we only help for like only top institutes and top business schools or universities.
Yeah.
So there you do not require.
You
like,
don't
French.
require.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what kind of are you? So that means that if somebody needs help with anything below a certain level in terms of the colleges and their rankings, you don't cater to those.
Yeah. Of course.
What are the colleges you help with when it comes to admits? Can you name them then?
Yeah, of course. So we only target like top 30 programs. Like we help mostly like for MIM, MBA and MSc programs. So
Yeah.
MSc can be like data science, marketing or finance. So we generally help for the top 30 for MIMs and top 100 for the MBAs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top 100 colleges for MBA and top 30 in MIMs.
MIM and MSCs.
And MSCs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for MIM, we have helped people to get into like again London Business School, NCR, and this are the HEC Paris, ESSEC, ESCP, all the like from 1 to 20. Of course, we have gotten.
All okay.
Yeah. And for MSCs, we have helped like from MSc Marketing, ESSEC, Imperial. Again, HEC Paris is also like quite good for finance. London Business School, London School of Economics for MSc Economics programs. So we have got people into that. And for MBA, we have got people into Columbia, ISB, NCR, London Business School. Only the top
Colleges.
Yeah, colleges. So of course, if someone wants to go into like top 30 or top 100 MBAs, then only we help.
Got it. Another thing that I want to know from you is there's always this big confusion that people have, like you also were making a choice, especially between MBA and MIM, right? I feel they're very closely linked programs. You did touch upon it very briefly before, but can you tell me in detail, if a person is making a choice, should I do an MBA program or do an MIM program? What are the three major differences between these two programs and how to make a choice ki kaun sa mere liye sahi hai?
Okay, so three major. So I think first can be about your work experience. Currently, where are you in your life?
Okay.
If you have a work experience less than 2 years, go for an MIM program.
Okay.
And because like MBA is for like a leadership where you want to be like a manager and you want to like excel in that field.
Right.
Yeah. And the second is also about the cost.
Yeah.
So MIM generally the fees is like around $50,000 while MBAs are like 100.
See the double.
See the double.
Okay.
Like both are very expensive. Like $50,000 is not also like very cheap.
Yeah.
And of course 100 is like nowhere cheap.
Yeah.
And the salary like after that.
Yeah, after you complete an MIM course and MBA course, what is the salary difference like?
So the salary is again also after MIM you can expect a salary around like 60 to 65,000 euros or dollars.
Euros or dollars? 65,000
Yeah.
euros or dollars.
And after MBA you get like 100k. So I think like both the years have like an ROI of around like less than 2.5 years. So whatever you choose, it totally depends on your career goal, like what really you want to do and like what is your objective if you're going abroad.
Got it. And when it comes to when you consult, you've consulted so many people now and so many students, right? And help them get into these top colleges. What are some particular traits that you have seen, especially because you said you have a lot of data also? What works and what is it that university representatives really look at in a good profile? If somebody wants to get into a Columbia, HEC, INSEAD, if they want to get into these top colleges, how do you make your profile stand out? The competition is cutthroat. How do you make not just your CV, I'm asking from a CV SOP, right? Your statement of purpose and essay standpoint. Have you seen any patterns that you've recognized that work really well that can ensure that a student is standing out from the rest of the crowd and they get an admit?
Yeah. So of course, first basic thing is like academically good.
Yeah.
Like if you're not academically good, then you should have like a very good GMAT or GRE.
Yeah.
So that is quite helpful. So and the second thing can be your CV and what kind of they look is like how good are you in giving back to the community.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have like good leadership experiences, good volunteering experiences, then they know, then like later you can also contribute to the college community wherever you are going at.
Yeah.
Because that's I think the most common questions they ask, like if you go to like either LBS, how you're gonna contribute to a community.
Yeah.
And third is like clear goals. If you go to like London Business School, what you really want to do like after short term, what you really want to do like after like long term. So they clearly ask you that.
Got it.
Yeah. So this three, and of course, they again in the essays they check everything, right? Your leadership qualities, your communication skills, like what kind of leadership role you have been there. So of course they look for someone who is a leader because after B school they want
You to be leading.
leading a company or
yeah,
leading a
obviously.
something. Yeah.
Got it. How much importance do these colleges give to extracurricular activities and anything you've done in the field of art, sports, cultures, or apart from just academics and projects?
No, they give a lot of weightage.
Any particular schools that give a lot of weightage to sports?
No.
Because I've heard some schools are very particular that something related to sport to hona hi chahiye, and then only they give you an admit.
I mean, it's different. Like if you're going to, I think that happens in the US. If
Okay.
you're going, because they have in the Ivy Leagues,
Yeah.
you have like teams, like
Correct.
sports teams. So
Yeah.
if you're very good, because Ivy League, it's like a just sports tournament. They have
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
And there they give a more weightage on, if you have a coming from a sports background, because then you can help them win like medals.
Correct. Correct.
So of course, sports is like if you have like represented
Your country
Country-
at some level, like you had a
Yeah,
table
I had-
tennis. You had a lawn
lawn
tennis.
tennis, again.
So you had a lawn tennis
Yeah, yeah.
history.
Yeah.
You think that would have also helped you also?
yeah. So I
Yeah.
of course showcase that skills in my
In your application.
application. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So if you're playing a particular sport, etc., that can also be an advantage.
yeah. That's very beneficial.
Hmm.
Yeah, of course, because that shows kind of some resilience. If you have been
Yeah.
to that international level
Yeah.
to any sports,
Yeah.
that gives you that you stand out. You have been like consistent. So that's what I think in any field of business they want, right? Be consistent, be resilient.
Correct. True.
And that's what sports teaches you.
Yeah.
Even like any art form.
And it teaches you discipline
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Right? Any sport teaches you how to be very disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this. Dekho, I've seen one thing, the ever so long debate generally is that MBA in India or MBA outside India. I mean, I think this question will always be relevant.
Yeah.
Even 10 years from now,
Correct.
10 साल पहले भी था, आज भी है. And kitna bhi main chahu, I will have to ask this to everybody in this field. What's your take on whether a person, let's say I'm a student, ठीक है? I did my BTech in computer science. I want to go ahead and do an MBA because I want to make a switch from tech to non-tech. And I want to be at a managerial position. Hence, I've decided to do an MBA. But I'm extremely confused whether I should do an MBA in India or should I go abroad and study abroad.
Okay.
So, how do we go about this? Help
Okay,
me.
let's do the drill. So,
Yes.
Of course. First of all, I'm gonna ask like, if you're thinking abroad, why abroad?
So I feel that the kind of person that I am, firstly, I really like being around people from different backgrounds and learning from people because I thrive on the energy of people and what they share with me. I think studying abroad will give me a chance to not just meet people from one ethnicity and race, but with people from a diverse background and help me think in very different ways.
Correct.
Secondly, just being able to live in a place far away from home, doing all of these chores and living an independent life, I think it transforms you into a person later on in life when you reflect. Because always being in a comfort zone surrounded by your parents, being in that cocoon is a very different, mindset versus what studying abroad teaches you. Primarily those two reasons. Also, obviously, the programs, the exposure, the opportunities you get after studying a particular program, that is also, lucrative for
Yeah.
sure.
So of course you answered that for you. Like, what we are.
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
If I was to.
Yeah, correct. So of course, studying abroad gives you like a different, going out of your comfort zone. Of course, teaches you a lot of things. But of course, you can learn in India. You have like different ethnicities. You have people from different backgrounds. Like India is also like even you walk like 4 kilometers, the language changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but studying abroad also, this of course going from your comfort zone, it's also about learning the different processes, because if you go to abroad and learn, there are people from very different backgrounds, like people from music background will also be there.
Yeah.
In India, if you go to like any good like B schools, you generally have a set of like engineering background will dominate, or you have like traditional like BBAs. And abroad you have like of course the BBAs and the engineers, but you will also get like pure sports player, pure musician who wants to do an MBA, chef who want to open his Michelin, expand his Michelin star restaurant.
Nice.
So you get that kind of people. Also the community you created. So you have a great alumni network like all over the world. So if you want to expand your business, like for example, if you are having a family business, right? Even if you sell like a jewelry shop, right? So you are maybe you are from Gujarat, you are a diamond merchant. So of course,
I wish I was.
yeah. So in India, you will get exposure. That if you do like an MBA from India, you will get a chance to sell all over the India.
India, yeah.
Correct. But if you go to like schools like NCR or LBS, the alumni network is so strong that you can of course sell it in India, but there you get a chance to sell all over the Europe.
So I can globally expand my business then.
Then you can globally expand your business.
So see, my goal currently is I want a job. So I'm not looking at doing a business. I'm very clear that after an MBA, I want to do a job only. In the long term, I'm also not looking at settling down abroad. I'm very sure I'll come back to India. However, I still want to get that experience outside of India, but I'm not confident because if ultimately I have to stay back in India, would I rather not do an MBA in India? So that's where my confusion is.
Now, of course, doing an MBA from India is also a good choice. If you do an MBA from all the ABC and like Lucknow, Kozhikode, like it's of course like one of the top institutes. But if you are doing an MBA, your goal should be that you should do only MBA from the top institute, even if you are going abroad. You should not be doing MBA just or like an MIM just for the sake of an MBA or like a master's degree.
Correct.
So if you want to do if you go to like Columbia or like a Wharton for your MBA program, you have a very good brand name here as well, right?
Yeah.
So when you come, for example, if you go to like Wharton and you do your MBA, then maybe hopefully you'll be working in like finance industry, like as an investment banker or something.
Correct.
So you will be working in US, you will be having a good global exposure, correct?
Yeah.
And then when you come to India,
but I want to come back to India, that I'm sure.
Of course you can come back to India, right?
Yeah.
Because like all the...
Will finding a job not be a struggle again then?
I don't think so. There would be a struggle because who would not hire a guy who has worked in New York as an investment banker in India,
Okay.
Like, so
you think that's not...
There's a no-brainer that if you worked abroad and you will have like a hard time, finding a job in India.
Okay.
I think it's vice versa. If you have even done a top MBA from India, like ABC.
Yeah.
Okay, you can finding a job in New York would be like a little hard.
Why is that so though? Why is that so? What's the reason?
No connections. It's hard to make connection in US sitting in India, right?
Yeah.
And of course, like abroad, you have to apply for jobs.
The visa process. Yeah.
And of course, it's all about networking.
Yeah.
So in abroad, you don't get an option like a college placements like we have.
Yeah, correct.
So it's all about networking.
Got it.
So it's very easy to network where you are.
Yeah.
Rather than, like sitting in abroad. It's like...
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Tell me, what are the most common questions or the common problems, most common challenges that people face in the entire application process that you've noticed in the last 2.5 years of running Admit Scholar, which you keep seeing recurringly, that irrespective of the school they're applying to, whether it's a person who wants to pursue an MIM, Masters or an MBA, what are the most recurring problems or challenges that students face?
So, I think everyone cracks the GMAT or GRE. But I think the main problem they face is in the essays, which contributes around like 40% in the total applications. So I think there is like many people face essays even after like ChatGPT. They don't know, like, of course, ChatGPT can tell you, what to write, but which experiences to write at, what point, what essays, what questions, and how the storytelling should be done.
Yeah.
So of course, your CV, your essays, your letter of recommendations should match, It should be a proper storytelling. Okay, it should be like start from a very good structure that, I grew up there and whom I'm inspired by and why I really want to go to this school or, university at this stage of my life.
Yeah.
So that is the part, where many people struggle to express themselves because it's like you have like lived for 25 years and you need to summarize in like 500 or 1000 words.
Your entire life.
And what you really want to do after
your
10 years after your program.
Yeah.
So that's very hard. That's a very,
Do you recommend people going to a consultant and directly telling them कि भाई मेरा essay लिख दो, मेरा SOP लिख दो? I get a lot of requests that this is my dream university. This is the CV I've made. मेरा पूरा CV बना दो. Please write my SOP. Please write my essays. I get these requests. Do you recommend that?
No, totally not. I think that's how also like we also doesn't work like that. So what we work is, of course, we connect a lot on face to face or maybe on like Zoom calls, and understand, like, first we give like all these list of, questions, like from basic, where was your childhood, what you really want to do, tell us about your family, so we can understand them. First we have to be their friend, like,
Yeah.
then a consultant.
Correct.
And after that, for each and CV, we understand, okay, what work you really did. So we ask a lot of questions. Like for CV, we'll be asking like 2 or 3 or 4 hours of questions, and there will be like 10 edits. So first we'll ask you to write this, then we'll make a comment. Okay, you told right, you performed this kind of activity. Then why didn't you
Mention it.
mention that? Then okay, what was the impact? What was the situation? What was it to ask? What was the action you take? So we ask for each and every activity.
Right.
Then similarly for your essays, we sit together and ask, okay, this is the, question, how you will contribute to the community.
What are some common essay questions that you've seen across these top B schools?
Short-term, long-term goals,
Short-term, long-term
and
goals.
how you will contribute to the particular school community.
Okay.
So we ask, okay, what you really want to do after.
यही होते हैं typical और
No,
कोई?
you ask most common, right?
Yeah, but what else?
Tell us about time where you lead a team. Fourth can be, okay, you want to invite a person to a dinner party. Who
Okay.
would that be?
Oh, that is also an essay
Yeah,
question.
that is also an essay question.
One person
One person.
to a dinner party. Who would
Correct.
that be?
Correct.
Interesting. Okay.
Even if you are saying like Elon Musk or, Jeff Bezos, you need to
Yeah.
be like, why? Very
Why?
specific.
Yeah, very specific. Got it. So, Sahil, tell me a little bit about, obviously you started with the idea of Admit Scholar when you were yourself applying,
Yeah.
right? And you saw this gap in
Yeah.
the market. When did you decide on taking this up full time and getting into entrepreneurship?
Okay. So I started Admit Scholar, of course, in 2022. Uske baad, like, I had to go to NCR.
Yeah.
And, I was focusing on my studies and also like taking Admit Scholar sideways. But, and uske baad, like, did whole year. Until then, I helped like around 20 people. Because again, I was taking like 3 clients per round. That's the, most I can do. So then also, till then, I created a team.
Okay.
From my contacts, from my networks, reaching out to people, also, posting on LinkedIn. Then fortunately, I found a very good team to, take more clients. So till then, during my time at NCR, I was doing this on site. Then I did my internship in Amsterdam.
Okay.
So it was like, as soon, why I got into NCR was like to work in a strategy consulting firm.
Yeah.
So got into like my dream job. That's the only company I wanted. I wrote in my essays also, that I wanted to get into Spark Optimus because I was from a data science background.
Oh.
They were doing a digital transformation. So it was very perfect for me. I did that. But during 6 months, I realized that, that the work I do at Admit Scholar is more fulfilling.
Okay.
So, and I really enjoyed like helping people to achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
So that's how after that I started, I came back and started full time on Admit Scholar. Until now, we have helped around like 44 people to help to get into the, top universities.
Nice. That's wonderful. But tell me one thing. From a business standpoint, I want to ask you, it's obviously great. What you're trying to do is a very high impact thing because I see the value in it, especially coming from an educational background myself, being a career coach myself, because you are not concentrating on quantity, you're concentrating on quality.
Correct.
You're also not concentrating on meri kitni commission banegi is pe because you don't have agents in the middle or a college is paying you a particular fee on sending a particular student. Exactly. But the point is then I want to understand that any point do you feel that because you are giving so much of customization and focus on the experience on the business side, do you think that has an impact or how do you look at scaling this? What are the problems there? How will you still, as you grow, because obviously you want to maintain the quality, right? How are you trying to solve for that?
So I think for scaling up, I told you, right? 2 years of reaching out to more than 10,000 people, like, getting on a call like around 700 people. So from that, I've made a quite data, like made like a gold standard, like kind of like a blueprint. So of course, it's not that I wanna expand to like very exponential. I wanna like hire only people like who have like a proper interview process in my network. The consultants I want to hire is like should be like the top from the top institute, and I really want to know them. That why, if they are joining Admit Scholar, like what's their motivation? It's just money or just to help students. So in the business point of view, like of course we charge like a premium amount of money. That's why, because we are giving so much customized. So I think here I would more focus again on the future, more on the quality, because I really do not want to destroy someone's future. Yeah, just for like some amount of money.
A couple of bucks, yeah.
Yeah.
But at any point of time, if you have to scale the business, like I said, you will have to take it from a 3 to more numbers, right? In every quarter.
Correct.
How will that be catered to?
So of course, since we have a structure, like a proper SOP to follow, hiring more consultants, relevant, good quality consultants, and that has to be done like very slowly. I'm not aiming to hire like 100 consultants just tomorrow. Like right now we are a team of like 8 people, including like I as a founder also like take clients.
Correct.
So from 8 I want to go to like just 10, next year maybe 15. See like how they are working, and because I need to oversee it, if I'm like in every group, if a consultant is working with someone, I'm like checking it, like the quality of work. So growing slowly, not like exponentially.
Not
here.
exponentially.
Yeah.
That's how you want to build it.
Mhm.
Got it. Nice. Tell me one thing that typically, since you also obviously, right now you're particularly helping people obviously only with the study abroad process. But typically, do you people come and ask you questions around GMAT versus CAT, which is easier to give?
Yeah.
Or should I also give the CAT, ISB versus IIMs? So what's
Yeah.
your take on that?
So usually the common question is GMAT versus GRE.
Huh.
What people
Or
are came
GMAT
to ask
versus
me.
GRE, yeah.
So I give, tell them, you are unprepared for both of the exams. Just give a mock.
Yeah.
So both exams like slightly like, so I would tell like in GRE, what I believe like for the maths is a little tough, and the verbal is little hard. Sorry, easy. So if you're very
I think you should take that.
yeah. So I would tell the common question is like GMAT versus GRE. So from the data set and talking to the people, what I have realized is in GRE the maths is a little tough and the English is easy. It's not much about grammar. It's just mugging
I've
up
heard
words.
opposite, but
Yeah, that's very true. It can be true for you as well, right?
but that's your personal experience.
No, that's the experience I have had.
You have had. Okay.
So that's how I decided,
Okay.
Like I took the mocks unprepared for both
For
GMAT and
both.
GRE.
Huh.
So, what in which exam I got higher and prepare for that. Because naturally, if I'm scoring higher percentile in some exam without preparing, I would score much more, because like from my
You
background.
don't feel that in GMAT the maths level is higher. The quantitative is more tough.
So yeah, it can be. So of course, in GRE you have to mug up words like
Yeah,
1500
like
words.
they put more emphasis on the language part, right?
In GRE.
In GRE, yeah.
But in
that's what-
GMAT it's more about like grammatical.
Acha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about, of course, reading comprehension is there both.
Yeah, yeah.
But in GMAT also they focus a little more on grammatical.
Okay.
I'm not saying like, this is the way which will
Yeah.
it's not a set rule. It's just giving, mocks randomly unprepared for both of the exams. And if you see that you have scored like a higher percentile
Yeah.
in any one of, go for that.
Okay. Got it. But you do advise people to probably give both.
Yeah,
There's no harm.
give both. Like first,
No. Do you advise people to give both GMAT and GRE in general, irrespective of whatever college they are applying to?
Yeah.
Do you advise to write both the exams to
I
be on the
advise
safe
both,
side?
right? Yeah. Like, of course, give only one, decide one only.
No, matlab, that is what I'm asking you.
Huh.
Do you advise people to in any case, whatever scenario, still give both the exams?
No, there's no point of giving both the exams.
Okay.
It's only like only one exam will be
You would
taken.
recommend taking only one.
Only one. But
Yeah.
deciding which to give is to just give both exams first, be unprepared, like fully unprepared, and see like which exams you have scored the most.
Scored. Okay. Got it. And tell me, what are some typical CV mistakes that you've seen a lot of people make when they apply to these B schools?
Fully unprofessional CV. They will like some
What is an
colorful,
unprofessional CV?
some colorful stuff. Pages going on like 1.5 pages.
Yeah.
And it's like spacing randomly done, following like either the proper LinkedIn CV you get. Nothing, like it's like people every, like I would say, like from very good schools also, they have like so unprofessional CV. Yeah, I think not properly formatted, no bullet points, full stops everywhere. not writing education, not writing impact, just writing paragraphs like what they have done, or
Yeah.
just writing one line. Okay, I worked here. And you worked on what project? Explain it. So yeah.
Do people still do that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then also tell me that what again when you call them spikes, right? Spikes on your CV. Like things that get noticed and picked by university representatives again, which are like highlights on your CV.
Hmm.
What gets noticed in a particular individual CV which gets picked by them?
Leadership, like how you are a team member, and what kind of teams you have worked.
Yeah.
Third is like, of course, the international exposure, if you have
Okay.
gotten or not, because if you're going to study internationally, you need to, if you have like a little international exposure, either working with clients or being there. For me, it was like, of course, IBM,
Yeah.
Amsterdam, Qatar, and
Also the Vietnam
the Vietnam
internship.
was like amazing. I could write, a full 3-4 points.
Yeah.
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 So there I had like international experience plus leadership. So if these three things you have it, it's amazing. You have
Got
like
it.
a very good chance to get in.
Got it. Understood. Let's talk a little bit about the study abroad space. I think it's become a pure dhanda in business, right? Every student is looked at as a ticket and as a number,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That has to be sent
Yeah.
to a
Yeah.
particular school. That's
Yeah,
exactly
correct,
what it is. What's the biggest scam that you think that's going on in this industry right now?
The commission scam. I mean, if you go to like any education consultancy, he will be right. Okay, बेटा तुम मेरे बेटे जैसे हो, तुमसे मैं क्या ही पैसा लूंगा, बट तुम्हारी प्रोफाइल अच्छी नहीं है, तुम यहाँ NCR हार्वर्ड जा ही नहीं सकते.
Okay.
So that's what happened with me,
और फिर क्या होता है पर?
फिर they send to you in their partner universities like tier 2 or
इनके
tier 3.
tie-ups होते हैं.
हाँ.
Okay.
And उसके बाद like of course like in name colleges, but yeah, like
हाँ.
I don't know it's right or not, legal action हो जाए तो.
छोड़ ही दो, आजकल वैसे ही माहौल बहुत गर्म चल रहा है हर जगह.
हाँ, इन्फ्लुएंसर
या
कोई आ गया घर है,
हाँ,
पता
और
चला.
मेरे पॉडकास्ट में तो मत ही बोलो, बेटर है, ठीक है. अभी चैनल शुरू हुआ है.
हाँ.
बट टेल मी वन
But
थिंग.
बहुत सारे यूनिवर्सिटीज है तो उनका ये होता है कि 10% कमीशन मिलेगा, which is very good, right?
हाँ.
कि 40 lakhs का बढ़िया 4 लाख
4
आ
लाख
गया.
आ जाता है.
And that's what happened. Like I will tell you the data. Like 1.5 million people from India goes to abroad.
study
Like
abroad.
last.
हाँ.
Guess how much people apply to top 100 universities? Like it's a data. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like ideally, like in India, if everyone prepares for IIT JEE, everyone gives for the JEE exam and IIT.
To get into IIT, obviously आप
मतलब
top
अगर नहीं भी हो
university
रहा है तो कम
aspire
से कम
करते
फॉर्म
हो.
तो भरते हैं.
हाँ.
बट टॉप 100 का सिर्फ 120 के था.
सिर्फ 1,20,000.
सिर्फ 1,20,000, लेकिन ओवरऑल बच्चे जा रहे हैं 15 लाख, लेकिन सिर्फ 10% ही अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, बाकी तो सिर्फ उसी में चल रहे हैं कि जा ही नहीं सकते, कि प्रोफाइल ही अच्छी नहीं है, तो ये सब.
Got it. And that's because majorly, like you said, because that's how these consultants operate and they'll not make any money अगर ये लोग चले गए सारे उधर.
हाँ, उनका तो कमीशन ही है ना.
हाँ,
कोई
but इतनी, but honestly, no, another counter to that is उतनी seats हैं भी.
नहीं, उतनी सीट्स नहीं है, बट वही है ना कि अगर आप उतनी सीट्स नहीं भी है, लेकिन देर आर अच्छे जैसे किसी की प्रोफाइल अगर अच्छी भी होती है, तो वो लोग भी अप्लाई नहीं करते हैं.
They are losing out on the opportunity
Correct.
क्योंकि किसी ने बोल दिया आपका नहीं हो पाएगा.
उतनी सीट्स तो है ही नहीं, तो जनरली वही ऑफ कोर्स या तो फिर प्रोफाइल अपग्रेड करो. और भी कोई यूनिवर्सिटीज होती हैं कि जिसमें तुम कई अच्छी की लाइक टॉप 100 भर्ती भी नहीं है, मतलब टायर 3 वाले चल देते हैं, टायर 1 मतलब जैसे कोई NIT IIT के भी जा सकते हैं, लेकिन उनको भी बोला जाता है कि नहीं तुम बाहर जाओ तो टायर 2 और टायर 3 में ही जाओ, मतलब वो कॉलेजेस में जाओ क्योंकि तुम्हारी प्रोफाइल सुटेबल है.
Okay. Another misconception, you come from Raipur, which is not a tier 1 city, but you went on to get into INSEAD. A lot of people are from tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. Does that have an impact on your application process?
In your application process? nahi, but like because
For your admits also to get into top B schools?
like college or city?
Yeah, top B schools. Does your city from where you come and you belong
No, I
have
think
any impact?
no, the city doesn't have an impact.
Okay.
Of course, your college matters if you are from a
College
tier.
matters, you're saying.
Yeah, but even if you're from a tier 3, there's a high chance that you can get into the top schools. So I would tell you the first client I got, she was from Guddur. I would say tier 2 college, tier 2, 2.5.
Guddur in Andhra Pradesh.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So she was from KM University.
Okay.
And now she's working in Gucci in Paris.
In Gucci in Paris.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So from KLM, good. I would not say like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the place is amazing.
Yeah.
But she had like an ambition.
Yeah.
I supported her, to get into like the number 4 MIM program,
Huh.
and now she's working like in Gucci as
Where
a
did
brand
she go
manager.
to study?
EdHec.
At ADIC.
Yeah, EdHec
Okay.
France. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Great.
So,
And what about the fact that I also feel that a lot of times, I mean, obviously, you spoke about the college, but any other apprehensions or myths that people have that you would like to bust about MIM programs and MBAs and about studying at top colleges? Like a lot of people think if you don't have a very good academic record or you're not a
Correct.
brilliant student, you can't get into Ivy League colleges or the top M7 colleges, etc. How
Yeah.
true is that?
no, it's not true. Like even if you don't have like a good academic background, you can still get into like the IVs, the NCR, the LBS. Because what they really want to know is like who you are as a person. They really care about more about your. That's why like GMAT GRE is less compared to your essays. They give more weightage
to the essay?
essays.
Yeah.
They really want to know that if you are coming to like Wharton or like Harvard, Stanford, what you really want to achieve, what impact you have created. Even like I have known people that they have worked like come from a tier 3, but they have worked for like 4 or 5 years in NGO and then got like Harvard.
In an NGO?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they were working in NGO. Like I know a guy like at NCR, 9 years he worked with UN.
Okay.
Of course, like
But UN is UN.
yeah, but no salary. Like if you consider like no impact, academics not much good.
Okay.
He just wanted to have a like impact, and that's his long term goal is again to join again UN and make like a bigger impact.
Oh.
So if you have made impact in your life anywhere, being like sports, being like arts, communication, dance, anywhere, it is given more weightage
Than your scores,
than
standard
your
scores.
academic CGPA than your scores.
Okay. So
Then
that means
really nobody
anybody...
cares about your CGPA or
Yeah.
GMAT.
So any tier college you are from or what your CGPA is, it only affects it till a certain level
Yeah.
or stage.
Yeah.
Got it.
They look is for your impact and who you are a person and what you want to do after your MBA, MIM or MS.
Got it. Overall, I think last 2-3 questions, Sahil. When it comes to typically also deciding what do I want to do after the program? Somebody has done an MIM program, an MBA program, or a MS program. How do you decide what industry to get into, especially in a foreign country? So let's say if you were to continue after doing an MIM yourself and you have to stay back in France, what kind of opportunities are open in that country and what industries are booming there and some of the highest paying jobs in a particular, if you can give 2-3 examples of different programs and countries, that would help.
Of course, I mean, if you want to just focus on the money perspective, strategy consulting and finance, like working in a PE firm or a VC.
This is for France, you're saying?
Oh, for France?
No, which country are you?
Oh, for
mentioning
like
this
any country like in
Overall.
investment banking is like the OG like you
So,
learn.
no, I mean, if you could tell me, typically for MBA from a particular country, what are the most booming industries and the major roles that people get after completing the program versus masters and then MIM?
Okay, so I'll tell you like if you go to like US and Singapore, you would be most likely working in like in a product manager role. That's the most jobs there are, and most.
It's a very hot career.
Very hot career
right
in
now.
US and Singapore.
Yeah.
And in Singapore, mostly like health tech startups, the government focuses on a lot. Because if you see like many startups in Singapore, like Singapore is a very good market to enter like, of course, the Asia, Australia and the US. And of course, the China, you have it.
Yeah.
So you will be working mostly like in health tech sectors. And if you're in London or in UK, you then finance, is like most like in working in a PE or as an investment banker. And if you are in France, like typically like into like colleges like ESSEC, EdHec, they're more into like luxury, like brand management, like Gucci, LVMH are there.
Yeah.
And from NCR, of course, you can work into like consulting, strategy consulting firms. You can work in UAE or Singapore or in London or any part of Europe.
Got it.
Yeah.
Understood.
Like I went to like France and Singapore, but I worked in Amsterdam, right?
Yeah.
They sponsored my visa.
Oh.
So that gives you a, brand recognition that any country will
Sponsor your visa.
sponsor
then.
your visa.
Yeah. Also tell me that when somebody has obviously decided, made the decision, and they start working in a particular industry in a new country, right? And after that, when they decide to return back to India, is there a major downfall or difference in what they were getting paid in that foreign country versus when they return back to India? Because that's a major apprehension or a hiccup most people face, and hence they continue working there even though they ultimately want to come back to India because obviously you're used to a certain lifestyle now and etc. Right? So, how real is that? So, let's say if I'm getting paid, let's say a 50 LPA package or let's say 60 LPA there in the US, and when I come back to India, what would it look like?
So I think it's all about, if you, I think, study from IIM Ahmedabad or Wharton or NCR. I think if you consider the PPE, everything is going to be like same. But because after IIM Ahmedabad also you'll get like 50-60 lakhs in India.
Yeah.
And if you convert the PPE compared to like Europe, which is going to be like around 1 CR, which is again be equal to like whatever you are getting in Europe, 150K. So I think all three is going to be in terms of PPE, purchasing power parity, it will be same. But I think what people and abroad would be like, they get the lifestyle. Of course the lifestyle will be better like if someone is working in because all the facilities, free healthcare, education. So I think if you come back, of course in terms of PPE you will be earning that much only, but in that terms of absolute money, so it's the same thing, right? If you work in New York, if you save like 10% of your salary, it's gonna be like 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs rupees in INR if you want to come back to India. But if you work in India and save 10% or 20%, that's going to be like 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs. So here is the major difference,
Got it.
And the people usually stay back if even they have a plan. It's just about this, like the safety. If you go to places like UAE, it's like more safe, very close to India, no tax. And if they are paying like some tax in Europe, they are getting like education, healthcare. So I think, why, if they don't have a family, why would they come back?
True.
If they are getting better lifestyle.
True.
If they want to, like, if only money is terms of the goal, of course, if they want to contribute to like India growing economy, of course then they should come back. But just in terms of money and lifestyle, I mean, why?
What are the top 3 countries that students aspire to get to in terms of colleges that you've seen?
US is the number one.
Okay.
And I think in terms of numbers, Canada is there, but I do not help to get into Canada. I do not help because Canada, of course, they started diploma. I did not want it to be a part of that, whatever you want to call. Okay, no words.
Okay.
Yeah.
So US?
UK.
Okay.
And now France is booming.
Nice.
But in terms of number, of course, Canada is.
But Canada also obviously has a huge...
huge crunch, but
But you don't help with it.
Yeah.
But I'm asking in general.
In
what
general,
are the
of
top
course,
3 countries that attract a lot of study abroad talent?
US, Canada, Australia. US, Canada, UK.
US, Canada, UK. Got it. Great. Tell me this, Sahil, that anybody who wants to probably build something of their own and traverse a journey like yours, wherein they go from a non-tech to a tech background, and then they move from obviously doing something in the corporate world to starting something of their own. What are some major lessons that you have learned in the last 2.5, 3 years of building Admit Scholar? And also, what's your vision with Admit Scholar going forward?
I think it would be like keep learning and keep networking with people. I would like, of course, like my mentor said, like meet every day meet a new person, like one day talk to like one random person. Because I think that has helped me a lot, learning about different thoughts, different how people communicate. And sometimes you learn about someone's story that you wouldn't be aware of. So giving as much exposure to yourself, keep learning like different skills. If you're from a tech background, learn about little about finance. If you're about finance, learn about little about Gen AI, LLMs. If you are interested, learn something new. And I think have a like focus, like what you really want to do, like, and what makes you happy. And because I think people say that, if you work hard, things will get better, but I believe it doesn't happens.
What do you believe?
I mean, I believe, of course, you work hard, but it's also about luck.
It is.
Yeah.
Definitely. Luck
Definitely
obviously
about
has a
luck,
role
yeah.
to play. Not luck.
Yeah.
If it was not about luck, then everybody would be on the
Correct,
same
correct.
page. Because most people work hard.
Yeah, most people
Most
work hard.
people work hard.
So it's only focusing on the process, not on the result. I would say just keep doing, be consistent
Yeah.
and resilient. So that's what I aim to be, like, be consistent with Admit Scholar. Only help people to get into top B schools.
Yeah.
And the vision would be, to create a good community.
Yeah.
Like I have helped like more than 10,000 people to get into like all the Ivy Leagues and
Lovely.
yeah,
That's
in
amazing.
the next 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope so that you're able to achieve that number very soon. I think this was a great conversation,
Yeah.
Sahil. And there's so much that I got to know about your background, your aim, your vision, the honesty I think with which you've been building Admit Scholar, and it's such a noble cause because every other second consultancy is doing what they're doing, and we spoke about what it is. We need people like
Yeah.
you obviously to also be helping people genuinely, right? Because like you said, it's someone's future.
Yeah.
You're
10 years
playing with
yeah.
someone's future.
Yeah, correct.
So, I mean, and karma comes back, I feel. I shouldn't be saying this, but karma is real.
Yeah, it
So,
is.
abhi to aap paise bana loge. I don't know how these people sleep at night, yaar. Because
Yeah.
even in my field as a career coach, I mean, I can rip people off their pocket. Honestly.
Same
I mean,
here,
I
yeah.
can charge somebody a lakh for half
Yeah.
an hour. And some people will give it also. But
Of
is
course,
it
I know.
actually worth it?
No.
And am I going to go back to sleep with a clean heart and knowing that I've done this? So I think it's a very heavy responsibility.
Correct.
Obviously, we're not talking about it with that intensity, but the truth is, it is that intense.
Yeah.
You're playing, like I'm playing with someone's job, career, and their family lineage.
True.
Because
True.
anything that I am going to tell them, they're going to firstly trust it blindly क्योंकि वो मेरे पास आए हैं.
हाँ.
Similarly with you and here, there's so much investment of time, money, resources. People
Correct.
take loans to go and study abroad.
Yeah.
लोग अपने घर बेच mortgage कर
mortgage,
देते हैं,
हाँ,
बेच भी
बेच-
देते हैं,
हाँ.
जो भी करते हैं.
हाँ, अगर टायर टू टायर थी तो बेचना ही पड़ जाएगा बाद
बेचना ही
में,
पड़
5-6
जाएगा.
साल बाद.
Exactly.
हाँ.
So I think, I mean, it's a very serious topic, but I'm so glad that you're doing what you're doing with Admit Scholar. I wish you all the luck with it. And yeah, I hope you had a great time as well, Sahil.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Lovely. So for everyone who stuck around till this point, I will be linking all of Sahil and Admit Scholars links in the description. Definitely check them out. And if you're actually looking for a reliable partner to help you out with your study abroad journey, and if you're looking for companions and friends to actually help you in this process and not just consultants, I think then they're the right people to go to. But yeah, with that, that's it for this episode. Before you leave, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Dhairya Decodes channel. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.